Tomorrow is the day that the Fed decides on the next rate cut, and markets are flat right now, anticipating major volatility to come. I'm going to be talking about all of this in today's live stream. So get your questions in, hit the likes on the stream as well if you like this type of content, and we'll get straight into it. So if we look at the current poly market odds, because I always like to do this just so that everyone has a bit of context, it is currently sat at a 96% chance that the Fed cut rates by 25 basis points. Okay, 25 basis point cut. There's only a 3% chance now of 50 basis points. It seemed like 50 basis points might have been in the question, but now I can more or less, I don't want to say guarantee, but we can rule it out in a way, okay? Not fully, because you can never do that, but it's highly, highly unlikely that we get a 50 basis point cut now. It seems like they're going to go with the 25 basis point that we all expected. And that's fully priced in, okay? That's fully priced in. If Powell just cuts tomorrow and nothing else happens, he doesn't signify any future cuts, markets will probably dump a bit. But I don't think that will happen. I think Powell will signify some future cuts. Maybe not explicitly, but I think he will signify some future cuts. And the markets expect 3 cuts this year. The big thing that I'm looking at on tomorrow, which I'll be live streaming, by the way, on the channel, so make sure you've got notifications on. The big thing that I'm looking out for is this thing on Polymarket. So I recommend everyone gets this bookmarked on Polymarket. It is the Fed decisions in 2025 thing, and you can see all the different options. So is it going to be cut, cut, cut? There's 3 FOMCs, one obviously tomorrow, one in October, and one in November. Sorry, one in December. There isn't one in November. So one tomorrow, one in October, and one in December. There is not one in November. Now, this is still not definitive, okay? There's a 57% chance of cut, 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 but that isn't definitive. That's just almost 50-50, right? This is the thing I'm paying attention to. When Powell speaks tomorrow, I want to see what happens with these probabilities. Is cut, cut, cut going to go up? Is cut, pause, cut going to go up, right? It's like a tongue twister. Cut, 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 right? Cut, pause, cut. It's like some sort of riddle. But, you know, this is what I'm looking at. Is Powell going to speak and then signify 3 cuts? Is he going to potentially signify just a one and done cut in September, which I think is unlikely? But time's going to tell, right? We're going to find out tomorrow, and that's the thing I'm really paying attention to, is the substance of what he says. And again, he's not going to explicitly say things, most likely. You've got to read between the lines a little bit. You've got to infer. But it's certainly going to be interesting. I'm going to be live streaming it tomorrow, so make sure you are there. The purpose of this live stream is to go through some of your questions in anticipation for tomorrow, so that we can, just make sure everyone's prepared for what's to come. I'm expecting big volatility, potentially a 5 to 10% move with Bitcoin and Ethereum tomorrow. And I think most people are expecting a lot of volatility as well. So we've got that to obviously prepare for. You got to prepare for big, big volatility. And you know what's interesting? Everyone was telling me a few weeks ago that September was going to be this incredibly bearish month. Now we're past the mid stage of September now. It's the 16th of September. So far, so good. Everyone was adamant telling me that September was going to be this bloodbath because of seasonality. Bunch of the big YouTubers were echoing and parroting this idea of red September. Not been the case. Total 3 this month, let's just measure it. Total 3 is up over 10%. So it's hardly been a red September so far, and I don't expect it to be a red September. I expect us to continue to the upside. And I was taking a look actually at Total 3 on the 4-hour. Let me just pull up the 4-hour. And I was taking a look at it using some of my pro indicators that I use, high-level indicators. Let me pull it up here. So chart prime oscillator. This is the one. And by the way, if you're interested in these indicators, you can use my link in the description and you can use them yourself. But I was taking a look at this and it flashed. It flashed a green arrow to the upside. And when it does that, it typically marks the bottom. You can see it did it last here. That was the day of the bottom. We then went up and made a nice move to the upside, okay? So you can see right now it's flashing up reversals. So it seems like we're going to get a bit of a move to the upside. The oscillator's come down quite a bit. So I think there's a solid chance we see an all-time high on Total 3, potentially either tomorrow or the day after. Now, I want to make everyone very aware that tomorrow you could see fake outs. You could see fake moves, manipulation, trying to essentially trap you. Maybe they dump us initially and everyone thinks it's over. We're going to dump. It was bearish. They do that to try and get you to sell. And then a few hours later, we start pumping. Or maybe it's the other way around. Maybe they pump initially and then maybe it dumps after. So you just got to be careful. If you're trading tomorrow, make sure you got a stop loss. Make sure you know what you're doing because this isn't any ordinary FOMC. This is the first time we're going to get a rate cut after the Fed has been on pause all year. All year, the Fed has been on pause and we're finally getting a cut. So there is going to be a lot of volatility and you need to expect that. But the way it's looking to me, it's looking like we are more likely to have a bullish FOMC than a bearish FOMC. Of course, anything can happen. It's a volatile day. We've seen a lot go on FOMCs before that can be unexpected. But I personally am expecting upside potential. Now, I gave a little update in the VIP in the Discord. Let me just pull this up. Here we go. So I gave a little update in the VIP on a project, which I don't hold, but I put it in the chat and we talked about it on the voice chat earlier. I shared the chart and it's looking pretty good. So I'm going to share this with you guys. I don't hold the coin. Maybe it could be a potential buy alert in the future. But you can see it on the screen. So I gave a little update and I said here, Towns is a decent buy. You can see it was in a golden pocket and it was getting pretty oversold. So I said Towns is a decent buy here. And you can see right now we're currently breaking above the golden pocket. So that was a good shout. I just mentioned that in the VIP a few hours ago. And you can see this oscillator or this moving average rather, not an oscillator. You can see this is the quantum reactor that I use with Chart Prime. And you can see that we came down and we've used that as support. Double confluence there. Golden pocket and quantum reactor hit. Double confluence. And now we're getting a bit of a move to the upside here. So Towns is looking good. It's in that same category as Zora. But, you know, I think it looks like it could be a coin with some potential. For those who don't know Towns at all, let me just pull it up and show you. Yeah, I thought I'd just be nice and give people a potential opportunity here. Now, if I am to buy Towns at any point, you guys know where I'll mention it because I don't currently hold any. But it's a 58 mil market cap. It is on base. I like base coins a lot. I like Aerodrome. I like Morpho. I like a bunch of coins on base, and you guys know that. Avantis is on base, and that's been one of my recent genius calls that have made people hundreds of thousands of dollars. In fact, if I could get a collective profit amount from my VIP group on Avantis, it's well into the millions. I've made people probably over $10 million in profit collectively on that single buy alert. But anyway, Towns is on Binance, it's on Coinbase, which is both, very impressive. Both of those exchanges are solid. And it is basically like a Web3 Discord. You guys know I use Discord, and that's where my group is. But Towns has a very similar interface to Discord, but it's Web3, and there's a crypto element to it. So it's got some potential. Chart's looking all right, so I just thought I'd mention it here on the stream. If I ever buy it, you know what? I'm going to mention it, okay? So these are my current top cryptos, and I'm very bullish on all of them. Avantis has been a huge W. It's had a bit of a retracement here. Let me pull up the Avantis chart. A lot of people have been asking me, Archie, I missed it. When can I get an entry? So what am I looking at in terms of potential entries here? So the 0.5 fib, macro 0.5 fib is at 88 cents. That is one potential buy range if it comes down that. And then another one would be basically where we hit just earlier, the 786 fib around 93 cents. Anywhere in that region between 93 cents and was it 80? What was it? Let's just see. Between 90, yeah, so between 88 cents and 93 cents. Anywhere in that region is a great DCA zone for Avantis. For those of you who missed it from my buy alert, okay? There's no reason for me to be buying Avantis here because I'm buying it multiple X's higher than when I got in. I would be absolutely diluting, or not diluting, I'd be upping my my average buy. There's no need for me to do that, right? I'd be worsening my average. So I'm happy with my average. I was buying it down at 28 cents. I know my VIPs were, but if you missed it, then you've got a potential DCA coming up there on Avantis, which I think has insane, unmatched potential, easy 10x potentially from the current market cap. So I hope everyone's having a great Tuesday. Let me know how it's going. Appreciate you all being here today. Make sure you get a good sleep tonight because tomorrow is going to be a very busy day. I'm going to be in the VIP all day. I'm going to be live streaming the FOMC on the channel publicly as well. It's going to be a hectic day, that's for sure. And I did a bit of a market briefing earlier in the voice chat. Man, people have been loving the voice chats lately. A lot of people, they don't realize how good the voice chats are. Like, they are genuinely robust discussions with a bunch of intelligent minds all in there. And man, this is just such a good place to be during the day with such good people. But yeah, Avantis looking good. Total 3 looking good, looking primed for a move up here. Solana also of interest. I saw the Pantera Capital co-founder was on CNBC shilling Solana really hard. So you got to give these guys credit, I'm not a big shill. I'm usually just honest with you guys, but I love it when I see these guys like Michael Saylor, Tom Lee, the Pantera Capital guy saying, Bitcoin's going to double this year. We're going to see 200K Bitcoin, 300K Bitcoin. We're going to see a Solana at $1,000 this year. I love hearing those moon boy targets from such credible people or well-known professionals. Because that just creates a whole load of hype. Yeah, for sure. Bitcoin's not going to go to 300K this year. But hearing the hype that they give is going to lure in a lot of retail to buy a lot of these cryptos and essentially pump our bags because we got in early. Appreciate that, Jason. Yeah, please smash up the likes on the stream. It does help out a ton. I'm bullish on Render Summit. I think it's decent. It's been a little bit slow. The base token won't come for a while. Yeah, it's probably going to take a while for it to come, but that will be a big narrative for sure. It already has been an altcoin pump in September Summit. Total threes up 10%. We've seen a lot of good gains, man, in September. Sell the news event. Alts will crash hard. Okay, let me just screenshot that message. So I remember your name. Yeah. Look, of course, anything could be a sell the news, but to say it with such high probability, you just got to be careful, man. Never fall into the trap of 100% believing anything for that matter. I don't see it in the charts personally. I don't see a major sell the news event. There could be a little sell off, but I don't see a major sell the news event, a hard crash. You know, we could dump tomorrow. I've been very clear about that. We could absolutely dump tomorrow. But I don't see a hard crash. Appreciate that, Paul. Casper will break out of its long bearish trend. Hopefully, man. Casper's been in a bearish downtrend for a very long period of time. And it did actually just break out of a bull flag. And the reason I know this, by the way, because I didn't check the Casper chart yesterday. Or maybe I did. I didn't look for patterns on it, though. I just kind of zoomed out on it. The reason I know is because my genius technical analyst posted letting everyone know. What do you know, guys? You join the group, you get these chart alerts. You can see the bull flag, or the wedge, rather. I'm not a pattern trader. I'm going to be honest. I'm not a pattern trader whatsoever. I thought it was a bull flag, but it's a wedge here. But yeah, I don't kind of dispute pattern traders. I have a few friends who are pattern traders. I just don't look at the patterns that much. I'm not denying that they work. Just everyone has their styles and they stick to them usually. I know some people don't look at the fibs at all. I know some people don't look at moving averages at all. I know some people don't look at the RSIs. Everyone just has their own trading strategy that works. And look, patterns for sure. There's probabilities that say if something's in a cup and handle, it should go to the upside. I'm not denying them. I just don't put them as my main priority when I'm looking at entries. Unless they're playing out on a really big macro scale. Ben Shaw says, I'm very tempted in joining the VIP. What are your thoughts on Mina, the world's lightest blockchain? What do you mean by lightest? Lowest fee, does that mean? I know about Mina. I remember someone years ago was really bullish on it. And I told them not to invest in it. And you can see what's happened to it, right? It's down 98%. But could be a decent play if you can get a good entry on it. But yeah, you should definitely join the VIP. It's a no-nonsense group, constantly winning. I mean, look, guys, I don't even really have to shill it too hard. Like, the results just show for themselves. If you're seeing a 24x on Troll, A 5.5x on Avantis in a few days. If you're seeing these gains day in, day out that we're making, and you're still not wanting to join, then fine. Like, I don't want people to join at that point. I'm not trying to force it. If you can't see the results and think as a logical human being that this is a no-brainer group to be in, then I probably don't want you in the group. I'm not saying that to you, Ben. You've been a long time viewer on the channel. I appreciate you being here a lot. But I'm not trying to hard sell the group. Like, I'm just showing you the results. I'm showing you the results. And if the results don't sell it, then nothing will, because I've got the best results in crypto. No one's outperforming me on YouTube anyway. For sure, there'll be traders and whales out there who are making a ton of money, but in the last few weeks, I don't think anyone's called the coins I've called. All the YouTubers jumped onto Avantis after it did a 5x for me and the VIPs. We were in well before them. James Bailey, appreciate the $5, man. Is a base token announcement good or bad for Arrow? Good question. It's kind of a double-edged sword, actually, right? Because one of the main reasons Arrow does well is because people can over-speculate on it because base itself doesn't have a token. So you can over-speculate and drive up the valuation of Arrow because there's nowhere to bet on base itself, right? Base itself doesn't have a coin. So maybe that could take away a little bit of the investment into Arrow. But then at the same time, if base have a token, it's only going to bring more and more hype towards base and the ecosystem. So I'll have to think about that a bit deeper. It's a really, really smart question. Just become a VIP recently. Archie, you're the man. Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate it. Altcoin Daily pushed Mina crazy years back. Yeah, that's a surprise. Ridiculous. What does the base tokens release mean? Base are going to be bringing out their own token. So, see here, right? 3 hours ago, Coinbase CEO reveals launch of base token, the airdrop of the year. Coinbase blockchain considering issuing network token to expand capabilities. Base now considering developing a network token. Finally caught a live stream. What a call on Aventus. Wow. Appreciate you being here, bro. And I'm always happy to see you in the streams. You're very active. Appreciate all the regular viewers. They know people will be broke around Christmas and won't be able to FOMO. I think the peak will be in the next 45 to 60 days. It could even be sooner than that, my friend. Could even be sooner than that. Like, we don't know when the peak will be, but we know which levels on the charts to look at to signify a potential peak. And I honestly think we could hit some of the levels. All it takes is a hard 2-week move to the upside. 2 weeks of Valhalla. That's all it takes. And these levels will be hit. That could start tomorrow. That could start next week. That could start in a month. Could start in 2 months. I don't care when it starts, but I know all it takes is like a couple of weeks of absolute madness, and you will see your portfolio 3 or 5x in literally a couple of weeks. Might even see it do more if you're in more degen coins. Volatility, meaning the markets drop more than the last few days. Volatility doesn't necessarily mean a dump. Volatility just means big swings. Volatility can be to the upside or the downside. Yeah, get the likes up on the stream. Absolutely. We got a big stream tomorrow planned for you. So I want to see everyone there. I want everyone to be ready for that tomorrow. And that's kind of why I did this live stream, was just to prep everyone for tomorrow, so we're not blind going into it. DJ Tracid says, "Hey Archie, I took profits on Avantis at around 1.5. Do you think buying back now with those profits is a good move, or do you think it might come lower?" Well, you're kind of trading it, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong with taking profits, but I haven't taken any profits on Avantis because I think it's going a whole lot higher this bull run. But if you were looking for a potential re-entry, I would set a buy order around 88 cents, just above probably, because that is a macro 0.5 fib. And quite often these coins, if they don't retrace to the 382, which Avantis actually did initially, it came down to the 382, but then it subsequently lost it. Usually they go for the 0.5. And if they don't go for the 0.5, then it's the golden pocket. And if they don't go for the golden pocket, then it's usually the 786. But most likely it will be that 0.5 level around 88 cents as the next move for Avantis. And I think that'll be a great price to stack some Avantis. I expect crazy volatility tomorrow. Yes, I really do. Some people are thinking, yeah, 25 basis points is already priced in, therefore we won't have much volatility. I completely denounce that point of view. Like, I couldn't disagree with it more. I think 25 basis points, yeah, that is priced in, but no one really knows what's going to happen for the rest of the year now. We need to hear it from the horse's mouth. We need to hear it from Powell. And yes, maybe 3 rate cuts is currently the most probable scenario, but it's not a guarantee by any means. It's around 50-50. As I showed you at the beginning of the stream, it's anyone's guess right now. So we need a bit more confirmation when it comes to this. And I think we will get some better idea tomorrow about what's happening for the rest of the year. And remember, the last time we heard Powell speak, it was incredibly bullish for markets. It was the Jackson Hole event where Powell came onto the stage, and more or less as soon as he started speaking, markets started soaring. So let's hope the same happens again. How's it going, Cache? What do I think about Ondo? Good question. I think Ondo is super solid, man. Really good quality project that is really undervalued at the minute. Let me pull it up on the daily. They launched their Ondo Global Markets, which, by the way, went well, and it's an incredible achievement from Ondo to do that. To basically tokenize the entire world through crypto. Now, it looks a little bit overbought, I gotta say. I mean, I'm getting a reversal signal here on my prime oscillator on the daily. Okay. But sometimes that doesn't play out, but most of the time it does. So maybe Ondo comes back down to like 96 cents, maybe even 89 cents, and then it gets a bounce. But Ondo's such a manipulated coin, man. It's such a suppressed coin. They've suppressed it so much. I don't know who's been doing it, But this coin has been heavily suppressed for a very long period of time now. And it really is due a very big move. So yeah, could it dip another 5% before taking off? Sure, it could do that. It could do that tonight, 5%. It's not a big dump, right? But is it going to take off at some point and make a major move to the upside? I absolutely think so. Because what they're doing is huge. I mean, BlackRock backs them. And this whole tokenization narrative, it's not going anywhere, guys. This is going to dominate the crypto space for the foreseeable future. What do I personally think will happen tomorrow? I think we'll get a lot of volatility. I think they'll try and fake us out. They'll try and trick people and deceive people. So maybe the market makers will initially dump us going into it. And then we have a massive pump coming out of it. Or maybe something. There's going to be a lot of tricks. They're going to be playing tricks. Now, if you can catch some of their moves as a trader, you could print big time. You know, if you can catch some of the moves, you could print big time. And I will be tomorrow in the Discord looking at some potential short-term trades. People say never trade the FOMCs. I've actually made a lot of money sometimes trading the FOMCs. You just need to stick to the technicals and not think too much about sentiment because they will be trying to play mind games with you. And I've been doing some tutorials on trading in the VIP lately in some of the voice chats. We've been going over Blowfin and how to use it. And on Friday, I'm doing a very detailed Blowfin and trading tutorial in the mentor tier on a mentor meeting. So that's going to be great. If you are interested in that, then check out the mentor tier. But Blowfin right now is a great exchange for me. I've been using it for all my trades lately, and I've got to say, can't complain about anything. I currently have a little long position open on Say, which is currently in around $60 a profit, nothing big. And I also have a little long position open on Pepe, which is in $65 as well. So if I open any trades, it's going to be on Blowfin. There's currently a promo going on right now for Blowfin. So check that out down below. Massive promo, limited time only. You can potentially get $1,000 in sign-up rewards if you use my link down below. What are my top 5 low cap picks? Depends what you consider low cap. Are we talking below 100 million? Are we talking below 200 million? Some would say that Avantis is a low cap, right? Depends how you define low cap. But let's just say around 100 million or less for the purposes of your question, just to make it easy. I would say peak. Very bullish on peak. I would say Millie. If you want a degen one, go for some Millie. Mavia would be another one. And then you probably get into some of the meme coin plays that I have in my portfolio. You know, maybe USDUC. And then I'd probably say the new VIP gem as well. The latest VIP buy alert. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Avantis' next unlock is not until March 26. 26? You mean March 2026? Right? Yeah, we can check. I can't fully remember because I checked the unlocks a couple of weeks ago. But I'll check it now. So, vesting. Oh man, I'm not logged in. You kidding me? Maybe they show it on CoinMarketCap. By the way, does anyone hold that pump.fun token? That has had crazy volatility lately. Yeah, so token unlocks. So it's just like this gradual unlock day after day, right? 0.04%, 0.04%, 0.04%. That's how the unlocks are looking to me. Little tiny unlocks. So it's one of those ones, right? A lot of projects are opting for this type of unlock schedule now. Let's go on 100. So you're saying March 2026. Maybe there's a big unlock then? Let me see, just to make sure. So we need to go back one. So you're saying March 2026 is a big unlock? I'm not seeing anything here. It just seems like it's the same unlock every single day to me. That's how it seems to me. Appreciate that, Codex. Yeah, there's been a lot of mixed feedback on the haircut. Some people saying it makes me look 10 years younger. Some people saying they like it. I just thought I'd try something out a little bit different, you know? Had the same style for a very long period of time. I thought it was time to change. The crypto market's about to change, so I might as well change the haircut a little bit. I called the Pump Fund token in VIP. Nice stuff, man. Good one. What's your win rate on perp trading? Very high. It's above 80%. But I don't know it exactly. I'd have to check. But I guess it depends, right, on the strategy I'm deploying, whether it's scalping, whether it's swing trading. Depends largely on what strategy I'm using. But yeah, the Pump Fund token's been doing crazy stuff, man. 3 bill market cap. I never really understood this token. Like, I never wanted to buy it. I've got to be honest with you. It's one of those coins where I just faded it. I was never gonna buy it. Got to be honest, because it just seems so risky. But I guess it's a good bet on the meme coin meta, right? Rather than trying to just gamble on one meme, you can just buy the Pump Fund token, and it gives you all the memes, right? Man, I've got a UK VPN on, so it doesn't even allow me on Pump Fund. Is it banned in the UK? Our systems have identified that you're in the UK. In accordance with the laws, the site is currently unavailable. Oh, yeah, I remember now. They banned it in the UK, didn't they? They banned Pump.fun. That was when the whole crazy thing was happening, right? People were jumping off buildings. People were saying, I'm not going to say it on stream because I don't want to get demonetized, but they were doing crazy things on stream to try and get their token prices to go up. They were doing all sorts of crazy stuff to try and get their token prices to go up. And that's when I said, I'm out of meme coins. I saw all of that. I saw people were jumping off buildings. They were doing crazy shit. And I was like, that's it. Memes are reaching a point where it's just, it's crazy greed at this point. When people are doing anything to make money, you know that you're at that optimal greed stage to be taking profits. And I said to my VIPs, look, I'm taking profits on these meme coins. I took big profits on memes at that stage. I remember a lot of other YouTubers didn't take any profits. They rode them all down 90%. So that's one thing as well. I take freaking profits. It's not that difficult, guys. Take profits. But for some reason, it's a big mental battle for people to take profits. I mean, physically, it's just a press of a button. Click of a button. Or click of a mouse, right? You just press a button and you sell. But that's easier said than done. It's like a mental battle. It's a mental hurdle, an obstacle for people to actually sell a coin. Because they've got their mindset always in this buy mindset of trying to find opportunities, trying to find dips. And that means when it actually comes time to sell, they're not mentally prepared to sell. They're still in the buying state of mind. And I encourage everyone that at some point soon, when the market starts to take off, try and alter your mindset a little bit. Get out of the buying mindset of being in a rush to try and buy something, the FOMO mindset, and try and rewire your brain a little bit to be in the what's a good sell mindset, not what's a good buy. I hear it way too often. People ask me, what's a good buy in the market? How often do people say, what's a good sell right now? What should I be selling? Very rarely. People always ask me, what should I buy? What's the coin to stack right now? Never do people ask me, what's a good sell? And the reason why that's the case is because of the whole mindset of crypto, of needing to buy. No one's ever thinking about selling. And that's why 99% of people, maybe 95% of people, get wrecked in crypto. Because their brain is freaking programmed like an NPC, like a robot, like a normie, to just buy, and never take profits. Deep programming has gone down in their brains. So that when everything pumps, they're still looking for things to buy. They're still looking for buy opportunities. They're still looking for DCAs. And I remember it actually. I'm not gonna name the guy, but he knows who he is if he's listening to the stream. Very, very active member of my community. Everything was sky high in January. All the memes were skyrocketing. We were up 14x on Mumu. We were up 7x on Sui. Everything was high. And he came on the call and he said, man, I don't know what to buy today. What should I buy? Everything's pumping. I don't know what to buy. What should I buy? I said, that right there is proof that you shouldn't be buying anything. That's a top signal. That's actually a signal that you should be looking at selling things, not buying. And believe it or not, that was the day before the top, maybe. The day before January 20th, or like 2 days before. A week later, everything crashed. So people need to get that mindset drilled into their heads that you shouldn't always be in this buying state of mind. Think about getting ready to sell things. Not just yet. There's still a lot of good buys. There's still a lot of good opportunities. But when the time comes where things start getting too high, I don't want my group, I don't want my followers to be the ones still chasing the buys, even though we're getting close to the top. Yeah, I'm calling the guy out because he's my friend in the group. And he gave me permission to tell this story because we don't want it to happen again. And I'm not naming names, right? He knows who he is. But I bet he's laughing right now watching the stream if he is. Avantis got my attention. What a great call that was. I'm not going to name names, but I saw a few YouTubers talking about Avantis this morning and last night. Oh, I just found this new gem, Avantis. I wonder where they got that one from, hey? Wonder where. Seems to always be the case, right? We get in first, everyone else follows. But yeah, Avantis is approaching a really nice buy zone. I mean, it's a decent buy now if you missed it, but I think if it pulls back to the 0.5 level, that 88-cent region, then it's an incredible DCA. You got Avantis from a viewer? Well, I actually heard of it before. I knew about it before, but I guess everyone got something from someone, right? The viewer probably got it from someone else, and then that someone else probably got it from someone else, right? But I already knew about Avantis. I heard about it, that there was a perpetual DEX launching on base, but I didn't know it was Avantis. And I didn't know how the chart was and stuff like that. So for sure, the viewer, Eric Wallen, I've shouted him out a couple of times. He actually kind of propelled me to go and look into it. But I already heard about it before. I already heard the name of Avantis, and I already knew there was a perpetual DEX launching on base. But I just didn't know that was obviously Avantis. But yeah, got to give a bit of credit to him. But obviously, I took the decision to go and buy it and analyze the chart. If the chart wasn't good, then I wouldn't have bought it. So viewers give me coins every day. I probably get about 100 coins a day asked on live streams and videos, and maybe 100 coins on YouTube and 100 coins in my VIP. And I get mentor tier members ask me to review about 5 or 6 coins every day as well. Very, very few of them end up being buy alerts because either the chart doesn't look right, the project's not great. So I probably get submitted in about 1,000 different coins a week for me to review. 99.9% of them never amount to anything because I have such a stringent research methodology. I've got about 60 different boxes that need to be ticked for me to buy a coin. And Avantis ticked all the boxes. And I pulled the trigger. Am I right in saying that 2 p.m. Eastern time is 7 p.m. in the UK? Man, there's too many time zones. I'm in Dubai. But I think you sounds right what you're saying. Yeah, it's 7 p.m. I just checked. Am I in touch with Crypto Chris? Here and there, not too often. But I think he just got bored of YouTube, actually. He just wasn't enjoying it. I don't want to speak for him, but that's how it seems it was. I know he's still bullish on Casper, still bullish on Bitcoin. He hasn't lost his conviction. People are saying he scammed and dipped. No, I don't think that's the case. He didn't do a runner. He just didn't want to upload anymore, right? People forget, right? Us YouTubers, we are people. Like, people will get eventually bored of doing YouTube. Some people just don't want to do it anymore. No, I do. I don't get bored of it. I upload every day. Red, green, sideways, I don't care. But some people just get bored of it, you know? He hasn't done anything wrong. He's just gotten bored. All right, guys, gonna wrap up the stream here. I appreciate everyone tuning in. We got a huge day tomorrow, so I need to get some much needed rest so that I can be fully aware of what's going on tomorrow, because it's going to be a big day, lots of volatility, lots of opportunities arise during volatility, and we're going to be seizing all of them tomorrow within the Discord. We're doing voice chats, multiple voice chats tomorrow, hours and hours and hours. I'll be on the voice chat talking to the members. And most importantly, I'll be live during the FOMC press conference and the decision. You know where to get it. It'll be on this YouTube channel live, and I'll be giving my analysis and my coverage as it happens. Guys, I appreciate you all being here. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.